So we are now through 6 rounds of Packers draft picks. There's still 1 round remaining for the Packers with 2 draft picks in round 7. But with their 6th round pick number 198, the Packers draft defensive lineman from Georgia, Warren Brinson. So that's now 3 straight picks on the defensive line. Barron Sorrell, round 4. Colin Oliver, round 5. He could also play linebacker. And then Warren Brinson in round 6. And looking at the Packers and the interior of their D-line, TJ Slaton signed with the Bengals during this offseason. And so I assumed the Packers would bolster the interior of the D-line. I thought it would probably be earlier, but this is the first one here where they bring in someone who can come in there in the inside and, add some more depth to this Packers interior D-line room. When we look at the Packers interior D-line, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, most likely the starters there in the 4-3, and then Colby Wooden, 2023 round 4 draft pick. Carl Brooks, 2023 round 6 draft pick. So Brinson joins this Packers defensive line room, and here's an excerpt from Dane Brugler's The Beast Draft Guide. He says, a part-time starter at Georgia, Brinson played across the defensive line in head coach Kirby Smart's hybrid fronts, lining up with the 4-eye technique, sliding down to the nose and bear looks, and aligning everywhere in between. His defensive snap count increased each of his 5 seasons in Athens, and he put steady play on tape despite a stat sheet that won't draw the eye. Brinson is fairly stout against the run and works to keep his arms locked out to find the ball and create stuffs. He has explosive moments when he is given the freedom to pursue the pocket, but he'll need to be better with his hands and overall rush plan to get NFL blockers off balance. Overall, Brinson flashes NFL-level play with his ability to get off blocks and force his way through gaps, but excitement over his talent needs to be tempered by his sporadic impact. He offers intriguing tools in an NFL-ready body. He's 6'5", 315 pounds, and the one thing that is the common theme of all these picks, rounds 4 through 6, all of them are incredibly athletic. When you look at the relative athletic score that basically measures, how athletic they are out of 10, all these guys are over 9. Barron Sorrell, 9.27 RAS. Colin Oliver, 9.74, and then Warren Brinson, 9.34. And we've heard Brian Gutekunst talk about the importance of traits, and so when you're making these picks later on in the draft, obviously there's some more question marks about these guys. That's why they're around later, but Gutekunst pretty regularly targets these guys who have pretty crazy athletic profiles, guys who maybe if they develop more, they have the tools and different abilities that can lead to them becoming, impact players. So I think it was necessary, especially with TJ Slaton gone, to bring in a guy who could be pretty solid against the run, and it looks like Brinson may be able to do that. Comparing him to Slaton's 6'4", 331, so much bigger guy. Brinson's 1 inch taller, 6'5", but 315, so basically 15 pounds lighter. But just watching a few of Brinson's highlights, I mean, he can play some solid football. I guess he probably just needs to be more consistent being a 6th round draft pick. So I think this definitely was a position of need. So I'm happy to see the Packers address it in round 6. I'll be out with a draft grade video once the entire draft is over. So if you want to see that, make sure you have the notifications turned on so you don't miss any Packers content. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.